Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz is here in Israel meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, with the recently ousted Chancellor running to regain his position at the end of September. He lost a no-confidence vote in May after the far-right Freedom Party left his coalition following a scandal involving its leader, Heinz Christian Strache. Now, Kurz taking to Twitter to say that he and the Israeli Prime Minister would discuss illegal migration, terrorism and the fight against antisemitism in and the regional security situation, in particular Iran. And for more on that story, let's bring in our correspondent, Jordana Miller. Jordana, thank you. Firstly, what did Kurz have to say about Iran and its recent violations of the 2015 nuclear deal?
Well, Kurz told reporters that he is deeply concerned about those violations. He said that clearly the fact that Iran is enriching more uranium and to a higher grade is a violation of the agreement. And he said this is an issue not only for Israel's security, but for Europe's security. Now, having said that, Kurz isn't in power right now. He's running for re-election, essentially, and Austria is not part of the European signatories to the Iran nuclear deal. So there's not much he can do right at this moment, but of course this is such an important relationship for Israel's prime minister, because Kurz really shifted the diplomatic relationship to a much more positive place. He has been really such a strong advocate for fighting anti-Semitism and really for defending Israel in the international forums, and saying for the first time that Austria really needs to have a kind of special relationship with Israel given its history, not claiming that Austria was just a victim of the Nazis, but also one of the perpetrators.
And Jordana, we've also seen Kurz being very vocal about the need to fight the rise of anti-Semitism in Europe. Tell me, what did he have to say about that?
That's right. Remember, Kurz is the first Austrian leader that, as a president of the European Council, held a kind of groundbreaking conference on anti-Semitism, and the first Austrian to say, listen, anti-Zionism, demonization of the state of Israel, and anti-Semitism are equated, and they both need to be fought. So he's been particularly vocal on this. And today, one of our correspondents, Bianca Zanini, had a chance to talk with Sebastian Kurz. Let's take a listen to what he said on that.
Well, from my point of view, it's important that we as Austrians have a good contact to Israel. Because of our historic responsibility, we should fight anti-Semitism in Europe, but we should also try to have a good cooperation with the State of Israel. Of course, it's good to have a strong relationship with Israel and to be a friend of Israel, because Israel is a very Western democratic society in a difficult neighborhood, and we in Europe should all support the State of Israel.